Okay, for the 17, they want us to simplify expressions, right? So they want us to get our fraction work back. So let's do these. So for A, I have 2/9, and I want to add -1/2. Whenever we add or subtract fractions, we need a common denominator, right? So the common denominator we get is 18, right? So how am I going to get that? I'm going to multiply the first one by 2/2. And I'm going to multiply the second one by the second term by 9/9. And the reason I'm allowed to multiply by 2/2 or 9/9 is because 2/2 is 1, 9/9 is 1. The identity property actually allows me to multiply any value by 1 because I'm going to end up with the same value. So now the first one, to multiply fractions, remember I multiply the numerators and the denominators. So I get 2 times 2 is 4. Over 2 times 9 is 18. The second one, I have a negative times a positive, so that's going to be negative, right? And I have 1 times 9 is 9, and 2 times 9 is 18. Okay, now I have a common denominator. So now I can subtract the numerator. 4 minus 9 is -5 over 18. And that one is complete. For B, I have -6/7 minus 3/5. Again, I need a common denominator, so it'll be 35. So I have -6/7, right, times 5/5, which is 1, minus 3/5 times 7/7, which is 1, right? Okay. So the first one, I have a negative times positive, so that's -6 times 5 is 30. 7 times 5 is 35. And the second one, I have 3 times 7 is 21. 5 times 7 is 35. So I have my common denominators. Now, -30 and -21 is -51. -51 35ths, right? And I can leave it as an improper fraction. That's fine, as long as it's reduced, which it is. For C, right, C, we have 9/10 times -2/3. Now, for multiplication, we do not need common denominators. Now, I can do this 2 ways, and I'll do it both ways just for fun. I can just multiply, right, and I have positive times negative, so the answer is going to be negative. 9 times 2 is 18. 10 times 3 is 30. But then I have to see if the numerator and denominator have a common factor, and they actually do. There's a 3 in both of those, right? So I can factor out the 3, right? Oops, let's move this over. So this, right, I can kind of divide by 3, right, on both, right? So I have -6/10. And look, there's actually a bigger common factor in there that I didn't even see, right? Which is 2. So I can get rid of the 2 in there also, right? I could have seen that it was a 6 originally, and I'd get -3/5. Now, the easier way to do these problems, right, when I have 9/10 times, right, -2/3, the easier way is to cross cancel. So the 9 and the 3 cross cancel, and this becomes a 1 and a 3. And the 2 and the 10 can be reduced, and this becomes a 1 and a 5, right? And now what I really have is 3/5 times -1/1, right? Which is just -3/5. So whenever you can cross cancel, it's going to save you some time in the end. Okay, and let's do D. I'll do it over here. D, 1/4 divided by 2/7. Again, when I divide, I'm actually multiplying by the reciprocal of this one, the reciprocal. And the reciprocal, I'm going to flip that fraction, 7/2, right? And now I multiply the numerator. 1 times 7 is 7. The denominator, 4 times 2 is 8. And I get 7/8.